In some cases, we might be given problems in which the arithmetic progression will lead to simultaneous equations. In such cases, what are we going to do? I'm going to illustrate these using an example. So let us go to the example we have over here. We're told that the 14th term of an arithmetic progression is 96, while the 25th term is 173. Find the first term and the common difference. Hence, evaluate the 19th term. We'll realize that we have two different terms here to solve for. The first one is the 14th term. So solution to this is, remember T14 is equal to A plus 13D from our previous class on the number of terms in an arithmetic progression. So we have T14 is going to give us A plus 13D, and T25 is going to give us A plus 24D. All right. So since we have T14 to be given as 96 and T25 to be given as 173, we can say that A plus 13D is equal to 96 and A plus 24D is equal to 173. Call this equation 1, while this is equation 2. Right? So since that is done, we have two equations to solve for the unknown variable. We can decide to use elimination method or substitution method. But in this case, I would prefer to use elimination method because it drives us closer to our answer. So if I decide to eliminate the variable A, so I would have to subtract equation 1 from equation 2. To do that, I would include a negative sign outside here. So I have A minus A, of course, will give me 0. Or 24D minus 13 is going to give us 11D. And this will be equal to 173 minus 96 is going to give us 77. Is that okay? Of course, we can look for the value of D in this case by dividing through by 11 and dividing this by 11. So our answer will give us 7. Therefore, the common difference here is equal to 7. So we have the value for our common difference. Is that okay? Now the next step is to substitute the value of 7 into either of the equations 1 or equation 2 so as to obtain the value of A, which is our first term. And then to do that, we can have A plus 13D equals 96. This is from equation 1. So since D equals 7, we can say A equals 96 minus 13D. If I substitute the value of D into this equation, I have A equals 96 minus 13 times 7. And 13 times 7 is going to give us 91. So we have 96 minus 91. Therefore, A is equal to 5. So we have A to be equal to 5 and D to be equal to 7. The second part of the question states that we should evaluate the 19th term. So to do that, we have, remember that T19 is equal to A plus 18D. Of course, we have the value for our A and also the value for our D. So we can substitute the values inside the T19 to give us T19 equals 5 plus 18 into 7. And this will give us 5 plus 126. Of course, this simplifies to 131. And this is our final answer. So when T14 is equal to 96, T19 is equal to 131, and then T25 is equal to 173. Of course, this is logically correct because T14 should be less than T19 and T19 should be less than T25. So this is how we can solve for problems under arithmetic progressions leading to simultaneous equations. So I'm sure by now you should be able to tackle any problem under these aspects. Okay, so in our next class, we'll also solve many application questions under the arithmetic progression.